November 9th, 2025, 2:47 a.m. 18 nautical miles off the Venezuelan coast, the Caribbean is almost unnaturally calm. A United States Coast Guard cutter glides through the darkness, engine steady, radar clean, crew on routine counter-narcotics watch. Nothing unusual, nothing threatening, just another quiet morning in international waters. And then, the ocean explodes with light. Green tracer rounds carve through the night sky. Bright, violent arcs slicing across the black water. Incoming fire. On the bridge, the lookout's voice cracks through the headset. Hostile fire, bearing 275, multiple rounds inbound. A heartbeat later, the sound arrives. The deep, unmistakable crack thump of 14.5mm heavy machine guns. Rounds slam into the sea, first 50 yards off the port side, then 30, then closer. The cutter's captain grabs the intercom. His voice is steady, cold, final. All hands, this is the captain. We are under attack. Man battle stations. Return fire is authorized. Because this isn't a warning shot. This isn't a mistake. This isn't harassment. This is a Venezuelan patrol boat firing live ammunition at a United States vessel. And over the next 11 minutes, Venezuela would learn why you never, ever, open fire on American forces. This is the story of the morning Venezuela made the biggest mistake of 2025. The Caribbean Sea is a superhighway for narcotics. Cocaine from Colombia, heroin from South America. Billions of dollars moving north toward American cities. The Coast Guard is always here, interdicting smugglers, boarding suspicious vessels, enforcing international law. Legal, necessary, routine. But not everyone sees it that way. For years, Nicolas Maduro's regime has falsely claimed an oversized maritime security zone, far beyond internationally recognized waters. They've hassled fishermen, blocked commercial ships, shadowed American cutters. But never once, not once, had they opened fire, until today, 2:47 a.m. The USCGC Stone, a 418-foot national security cutter, is wrapping up a boarding. A suspected smuggling ship turned out to be nothing more than a tired fishing crew. The Stone is returning to patrol when radar picks up a fast-moving contact. A Venezuelan Guayamacuco-class patrol boat, 125 feet long, armed with heavy machine guns, and closing fast at 30 knots. The Coast Guard hails them on radio. No reply. They signal visually, ignored, and then, without a single warning, the Venezuelan boat opens fire. Tracer rounds illuminate the darkness every 5 shots, glowing green embers streaking toward the cutter like fireflies of death. On the bridge, the officer of the deck shouts, "We are taking incoming! Contact 800 yards and closing!" Captain Marcus Webb lifts binoculars. Through the pitch-black night, he sees the muzzle flashes, raw, violent pops of orange flame. "Sound general quarters! All hands to battle stations!" Alarms erupt throughout the ship. Sailors sprint to their positions. Men and women trained for emergencies, not combat. Yet tonight, the line between the two has vanished. The Stone is armed. A powerful Mk-110 57mm main gun. 2.50 caliber machine guns. Small arms throughout the deck. But this is the Coast Guard. Their mission is law enforcement, rescue, humanitarian work, not naval combat. But now they are fighting for their lives. Forward gun crew, this is the captain. Target that vessel. Fire for effect. The Mk-110 rotates with mechanical precision. Tracking locks. 357mm high explosive rounds scream across the water at over 3,000 feet per second. The first splash is short. The second erupts right in front of the patrol boat, sending a geyser of seawater upward like a miniature explosion. The third round lands true. A flash of orange smoke. The Venezuelan boat's forward gun sputters silent, but the fight is far from over. The patrol boat veers hard to starboard, swings its stern gun into position, and fires again. Tracers whip across the water and ricochet like skipping stones. One round slams into the Stone's hull. Metal shrieks. Paint vaporizes. Bridge, damage control. Impact forward starboard. No hull breach. Integrity intact. Another burst whistles overhead, missing the bridge by meters. A petty officer dives behind a bulkhead as brass rains down around him. Forward gun! Keep firing! 4 more rounds. Explosions walk across the Venezuelan hull. One hits the superstructure. Another tears into the stern. Smoke pours out like black fog. Their guns fall silent. The patrol boat begins fleeing, racing toward Venezuelan waters at maximum speed. Captain, hostile vessel is disengaging. Maintain fire until out of range. And get me Southcom. Now, this is no longer a skirmish. This is an international incident. 2:52 a.m. 5 minutes since the first shot. The Venezuelan patrol boat limps away, trailing fire and smoke. Captain Webb contacts U.S. Southern Command via encrypted SATCOM. Southcom, this is U.S. Coast Guard Cutter Stone. We took unprovoked hostile fire from a Venezuelan naval vessel in international waters. Return fire. Hostile withdrawing. Request immediate support. 5 seconds of silence. Then the reply. Stone, confirm hostile fire from Venezuelan military vessel. Affirmative. Copy. Stand by. Support is already en route, because not far away, only 40 nautical miles south, 2 U.S. Navy destroyers are on patrol. USS Gravely, USS Porter, Arleigh Burke class, heavily armed, combat ready. Both immediately receive new orders. Coast Guard cutter under attack. Proceed at flank speed. Rules of engagement. Weapons free on hostile Venezuelan vessels. Engines roar. 30 knots. 32. 2 steel giants, carrying more than 180 missiles and an arsenal of naval firepower, thunder toward Venezuela. Meanwhile, aboard the damaged Venezuelan boat, panic erupts. Their captain radios headquarters. We engaged an American cutter. Heavy damage. Casualties. Returning to port. The response from Caracas is sheer disbelief. What? You fired on an American vessel in international waters? You just started a war! At 2:58 a.m., 11 minutes after the attack began, the Venezuelan patrol boat crosses into its territorial waters. Safe, for now. But the Stone remains in place. Weapons ready. Radar sweeping. Waiting. Because 2 U.S. destroyers are 25 minutes away. 3:14 a.m. To the east, the horizon glows, not with sunrise, but with the heat signatures of 2 American warships barreling in at combat speed. On the Stone's radar, 2 friendly contacts appear. CIC to bridge. The Gravely and Porter are on screen. Range 8 miles. Captain Webb releases a breath he's held for too long. Maintain battle stations. Eyes on Venezuelan waters. But Venezuela isn't coming back. In the Venezuelan Naval Command Center, panic has replaced bravado. 2 American destroyers, 9,000 tons each, are racing toward their coastline. Their patrol boat limps home, battered and burning. 3:26 a.m. The USS Gravely arrives, positioning itself between the Stone and Venezuela like a steel guardian. Stone, this is Gravely. We've got the watch. You are cleared to withdraw. The Stone turns away for repairs. The destroyers stay, silent, armed, immovable. 3:35 a.m. Venezuela sends a message. The incident was a mistake. We request U.S. withdrawal. The Gravely responds with ice. We are in international waters. Any further hostile action will be met with overwhelming force. Silence. Then the reply. Understood. For the next 4 hours, the 2 American destroyers remain parked 12 miles off the Venezuelan coast. Visible. Undeniable. A floating warning. You attacked us. This is the cost. By dawn, the world knows. The Pentagon releases a statement. A U.S. Coast Guard cutter was attacked by a Venezuelan patrol boat in international waters. The Coast Guard fired in self-defense. The hostile vessel retreated. U.S. Navy forces are on station ensuring safety. Venezuela scrambles to save face. Their foreign ministry calls it a misidentification, claiming they thought the cutter was a smuggler. No one believes it. The Stone is massive, well-lit, and unmistakably American. Analysts later uncover the truth. A young Venezuelan officer, overconfident, undertrained, and eager to impress, saw an American ship and made a catastrophic decision. He opened fire without orders, and immediately learned the consequences. The OAS convenes an emergency meeting. NATO voices support. American destroyers hold their position for 3 full days. The Venezuelan captain is arrested. His career over. His mistake immortalized. The Stone suffers only light damage, repaired within a week. The crew suffers no casualties, and they return to patrol the same waters, this time with destroyers not far away. Venezuela hasn't challenged an American vessel since. They learned the lesson the hard way. Harass America if you want. Shout over radio. Bluff. Posture. But the moment you fire, even once, the entire U.S. military response is immediate, unified, and overwhelming. This wasn't the first U.S. Venezuela maritime confrontation, but it was the first time Venezuela pulled the trigger, and the last, at least so far. Somewhere in the Caribbean tonight, a Coast Guard cutter is on patrol, and somewhere in Venezuela, a disgraced captain lies awake remembering that morning. Green tracers, 57mm retaliation, and the destroyers that came like steel thunder. He remembers one thing: never again. So tell me, if you were the Coast Guard captain that night, would you return fire instantly, or try to de-escalate first? Comment below, like, subscribe, and join the fleet for more real-world military encounters. Fair winds. See you next time.